Welcome back to your favorite sports podcast. This week, we're going to cover our NFL draft grades for our teams and a couple other things from the NFL draft. We're going to get to the NBA first round and the NHL first round, along with some different news from the week and current matchups in the NBA and NHL. We're also going to get to Kendrick Lamar versus Drake and any other sports news that happened this week. This episode's always brought to you by Way Good. Davis is still on that six-pack by the end of summer challenge. He's using Way Good to get it done. He's looking good right now, so he might win that and not have to do the milk mile, but we'll see.
I might need to extend my deadline.
Well, he's going to extend it with Way Good.
I'm not giving up, but the deadline might have to be extended.
No, you got it.
No changes. Milk Mile or Way Good. So use Way Good today. It's a sweet treat to cure that sweet tooth. Check them out today. All right, let's go. All right, fellas. We got a lot of stuff to cover over the past week or 2 weeks, whatever it's been.
The last week's on me.
We have poor time management on this podcast. It's okay.
Yeah, I just forget like a lot. I forget.
Well, you do have a real job, and like I said a few weeks ago, you know, when you're away on business, you have that excuse.
Correct. No, I want you to pack all of your shit and bring it with you.
Yeah, and I mean, I would have rather been here. It was just a work conference, but business had to be done.
That's fine. Viewers understand. We understand. But we're back at it. We'll start with the NBA first round. So Thunder over Pelicans. They sweep them. Thunder are looking really good, and I may have to backtrack my comment about my favorite team being not equipped to make it through the finals. I think they can. I'm starting to believe, and I don't know if it's the Thunder fan in me or if it's just the overall assumption that they can do it. But I feel that they can, get there. I feel like if they match up with with Jokic and them, I think that's going to be a problem. But hell, the Timberwolves might take care of business for that. So you never know.
Yeah, but then you got to face Anthony Edwards, and I don't think anybody wants to see him right now.
No,
he's insane.
They don't.
He's quickly become one of my favorite players.
Yeah, and we're going to get to him in a minute because I know Davis has a good comment for that one. But I agree with you. I think that's a problem. But I think they'll match up better with the Timberwolves than they will the Nuggets. So that's just me.
Either one of those matchups are going to be tough. But Thunder, they've got the 1 seed for a reason. So I'd go in confident.
Yeah, I agree.
Lamar, the Mavs beat your Clippers 4-2 in the series. How do we feel?
Clippers stink. Kawhi is never ready to play. Paul George doesn't show up. It's just a weird. There's a weird dynamic there. Like I need to know what's going on with Kawhi.
Number one, I think Paul George plays better with Kawhi and is not on the floor and doing his one every other game load management games. But is the Clippers experiment over? Like, are we done with that?
The big three?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Paul George, he said he wanted to stay with the Clippers. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think you definitely bring back James Harden. I'm not a huge fan of Kawhi just because of the load management piece. And I've always been a big fan of Paul George. But he tends not to show up when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
I think you lose probably one of them.
I think you lose Paul George. I think they trade him because they need picks.
Yeah, they don't have much going. They also don't have much depth. So
yeah,
I don't know what the contract situation is, but I think it was Anthony Edwards that's was talking about one of the best players of all time, or maybe not of all time. One of the best players he was saying was Paul George.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like that take. A lot of people did not, but Paul George is one of the most well-rounded basketball players there is. There's really nothing he can't do.
I agree.
Besides show up to big games.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides that, but
that's his only downfall. But as a basketball player, well-rounded, like you said, Davis, there's not many out there that can do. He's that 3-and-D guy that's also got a pretty mid-range game as well. So
No, I agree. I also think this is kind of the same thing with the Suns right now. I don't think the super teams do it anymore. I don't think that they make. I think people are tired of giving up picks for these super teams that just underperform, and then they get through 4 years of it, and they're like, "Well, what the hell do we do now? We gave up 7 picks to get Kevin Durant or somebody like that," and then
I think it's just a new age.
Yeah, man. What this is
You see
proven
these-
is every generation we're just getting better. So we talk about
Yeah.
these GOAT debate. Like I don't want to get into that right now, but man, these young guys, they're no joke. They're literally
Yeah.
they're born and they're training to play basketball at this
Yeah.
day and age. Like they're bred for it.
I think it's just a matter of the young group coming in and making a name for themselves. Like the Knicks, you got I won't say the big three, but you got Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and
Julius Randle normally.
DaVincio. I mean, those are three pretty young guys that you've got, that are making a name for themselves.
Well, and I guess what I mean by that is you're not sending 7 picks to get Kevin Durant, and then you make a big three out of guys that are already in their prime. It's okay. I'm going to get these 3 guys that are studs. If I see one on another team, I can go trade for them pretty easily, and make my own young big three. That if I don't like, well, I only gave up 1 draft pick instead of 7. You know what I mean? Like they can draft these guys and they can make their own big three that's young, and they can play for them for years instead of I got him on a 5-year deal that I'm paying him a supermax deal for.
Yeah. Well, the dynamic with, like you mentioned, Phoenix, it's weird there. You've got 3 like attackers. You got 3 scorers. There's only 1 ball.
Yeah.
You've got Bradley Beal. He's a pretty lethal scorer. But he's pretty much playing off the ball. You got, Devin Booker primarily playing the 1. He's truly a 2.
Right.
But you also want to give KD his piece. So, it's just, like you said, I don't think the big threes work anymore. It's just having, 1 or 2 solid players and then having the guys around you.
Well, that was also the problem with KD, I think, in Golden State is he got pissed off because he wasn't getting his shots. And then you got Draymond yelling at him, give the ball to Curry, and it just didn't work. Same thing with I said a couple weeks ago about Devin Booker is I bet his overs on threes, and it never happens because he doesn't shoot threes anymore because he's primarily bringing the ball up and trying to get the ball to people, and that shouldn't happen. Yeah. He needs a true point guard that can go disperse and do whatever he's supposed to do to get to him the ball.
Right. I was excited when they got rid of Chris Paul because Cameron Payne was next in line. I really thought he was going to get the start for that team, and then they got rid of him too. So I'm glad they lost. They deserved that.
Yeah, I'm glad they lost just because I don't like Devin Booker. I like him, but I think
he's one of the most hateable Kentucky players there.
He puts on this front like he's a killer, a dog.
He thinks he's Kobe, like Jason Tatum.
Yeah, yeah, he's Kobe reincarnated.
It's the Kardashian curse for him. That's the problem. Yeah. Speaking of the Suns, they get swept by the Timberwolves.
This is the series that Anthony Edwards became he's right there next. He's right there next to LeBron now, and everybody knows how big of a LeBron fan I am. He's right there with him, and that video of him like he's walking backwards, chirping at KD. That made you want to run through a wall right there.
Yeah, so I've liked Anthony Edwards since he came out of Georgia. He played for Tom Crean. I grew up a Dwayne Wade fan. Also played for Tom, so I saw that comp there.
Yeah.
He's not a Dwayne Wade comp anymore. He's much, much better than Dwayne Wade is. A different play style.
Yeah.
But, he's good. There was questions, I guess last year, that Jimmy Butler might be Michael Jordan's long-lost son. I think we found Michael Jordan's long-lost son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Didn't he say stop saying that because he doesn't ever want to be compared to one of the greatest basketball players to ever play?
No, I think someone said something about Michael Jordan, or the last person to do something was Michael Jordan, and he said stop because he didn't want to be compared to him.
Well, you're his son, so you got to live up to that dream, my guy. So get it done. But they beat the Suns. I expected the Timberwolves to win. I did not expect them to sweep the Suns. I thought the Suns could at least get 1 or 2 and make it a 6-7 game series, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the Timberwolves to win. And the Wolves, they've been tough over the past few years. They've had some battles with Memphis in the playoffs that have been really competitive. This year, they're ready.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it in a little while, but they're taking on the Nuggets same way. They're
This
They're
just bully ball.
They're playing bully ball, and that's
Yeah.
what's killing them. Is the Nuggets don't play bully ball.
the
No,
Wolves are what the Grizzlies were supposed to be until
Yeah.
Ja Morant wanted to flash his guns, and then the whole team wanted to get hurt.
It was a lighter.
I mean, whatever. I don't care. Like, free job. Gun.
Free jaw till he's free.
Didn't shoot anybody.
Okay, next we had the Nuggets beat the Lakers 4-1 in the series. Was that the last time we see LeBron James play basketball?
No. He'll never stop playing basketball. He'll play until
He's dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'll die on the basketball court. That was interesting. I mean, I think the Nuggets won 2 games on game winners.
Mhm.
I mean, LeBron's still LeBron, but I don't know. That's another weird dynamic. I think it's just like you said, your 2 big pieces, AD and LeBron. I don't know. It's just weird. The Nuggets just outplayed them.
Well, I think the other problem is the Lakers, they didn't build their team to, like, if LeBron and AD weren't on the floor, they didn't have anybody to score the basketball. So it's like the Nuggets knew that, and they said, okay, when they come out, we'll put Jokic back in and we score 30. And you can't do that. Your second unit needs to be able to hold down the fort for 5 to 7 minutes, maybe 10, so that your first unit can come back in.
Well, I mean, I think they kind of went off the hype of Gabe Vincent last year, and then Rui Hachimura. He had a pretty decent year last year, and then even in the regular season, he did okay. But he might as well just rode the pine the whole series.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really think it's actually LeBron's last year playing basketball, because I think he really wants to play with his son, and I think they're about to get a coach in there that picks him up as an undrafted free agent if he truly goes to the draft, which I don't know why you would, and that just kind of proves that LeBron's the GM we've always thought he was and know he is. But
I kind of hope he doesn't, just because it's like he's making that move simply to play with his dad rather than develop and get an education and stuff like that. It's more he's feeling the pressure of playing with his dad,
right,
versus actually making it to the league. Because I mean, I don't doubt his ability there, but I mean, after his year last year, given that he almost died, but I mean, it wasn't anything pretty.
No, yeah, he's got to develop. I think he's got to be a 4-year player and develop, maybe a 3, but like this year, I don't think it's a year. But
no, back to the LeBron retirement questions. I always go back to the classic Nick Saban quote that I'll just play it instead of reading it because it's funnier coming out of his mouth.
I don't hear anything, Davis. No.
Okay. Awkward pause. Anyway, Nick Saban hits him with the "I'm not going to, so quit asking."
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
We're gonna watch LeBron die on the basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davis, Boston beats Miami 4-1.
Yeah, last time we did this, I was watching Miami win that one game. They made like 23, 24 3-pointers. So to beat Boston, you've got to shoot a franchise record in threes made. I don't know.
No, I think I know the problem.
What's the problem?
We did not attend a playoff game this year.
We did not attend. We did not attend. I didn't want to attend any of those games because I'm pretty sure it was like 24, 25 threes they made in game 2. Game 3, game 4, game 5, they probably didn't combine for 23. They couldn't hit anything. Like, it was awful to watch. I feel like I was watching college basketball. But yeah, the Celtics are good. Derek White, when you have Derek White going for 20, 13, 16, 38, and 25, I mean, shit, you're not winning with a team like that.
It's a bald head.
Yeah, he's not the cutest guy. not a good looking dude. He's not like D Book. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy was hurt Terry Rozier's hurt. Tommy
do you
Hawkins
think-
didn't play Game 5, but it
What
wouldn't
do
have
you
mattered.
think about Pat Riley's comments?
Pat Riley's Pat Riley. He ain't gonna change. He is the Godfather, but I don't know if I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen because, I mean, I saw what happened to D Wade. I mean, D Wade's still the face of the franchise in Miami. I mean,
Yeah.
they let him walk. He wanted to get paid after taking pay cuts for allowing the Big Three to come, bringing 2 titles to Miami. I don't think we're going to pay I don't think we're going to give guaranteed money to I think Jimmy Butler's 36 or going to be 36. I don't think he's going to get the money he's looking for.
Yeah.
Which I hate, but at the same time, I mean, they're just going to continue to build. I have faith. E-culture.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, Boston's got to beat who right now? The Cavs, which I think they do,
Cavs.
and then they'll have to play the Knicks most likely. That will be a fun series. If that
Yeah.
happens, Knicks Celtics will be a fun series to watch.
I don't think the Knicks match up well against them. That's just my thought, but I don't think anybody in the East matches up well against Boston.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, but you've got that kind of that pastime, that goes with
Beef.
it. Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson scoring like 40 a game. Did he score 40 last night?
I don't think so.
I don't. I didn't. I fell asleep halfway through it, but because that Eastern
think-
time zone thing,
I'm
man,
just-
it really got me.
I'm not so like Jalen Brunson's good. I'm not saying that. I'm just not sold on him yet. I look at him as like an Isaiah Thomas.
Oh no!
Stop
That's
He's
disrespectful.
He's Isaiah Thomas when he was with the Celtics.
That's
That's
getting clipped.
disrespectful.
That's getting clipped.
I mean, we'll see where he goes, but I don't see Jalen Brunson leading a team to a championship.
That's insane.
Especially,
I mean,
not
I
the
don't
Knicks
think he's
right
going
now.
to
I
lead
mean,
to a
yeah.
championship this year, but I think he'll. I think he's a hooper.
He
I
is the
think-
hooper.
I
I'm
think
not
to
denying
compare-
that.
I think to compare him to
Isaiah
Isaiah
Thomas
Thomas
is nuts.
Did
yeah.
you guys see what
It's
Isaiah Thomas
nuts.
did after his sister died? Dude, snap.
That was after his sister died. He had the Holy Spirit with
There
him.
was like one really good season of Isaiah Thomas, and that's the way I look at Jalen Brunson.
That's insane.
We're getting away from this. All right, Cavs over Magic. I don't think this series really mattered. This was the battle of mid right here.
I can say I didn't watch a single minute of this.
Yeah,
series.
I didn't either. I did see some interesting
Paolo-
things about Paulo Banchero.
Yeah, he's a hooper, but that's all I got.
He's going to be cold.
Yeah, and apparently, like, listen to what other people said. He has gotten significantly better from last year to this year, and then throughout the season. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hooper. That's literally all I had from this series is that he can ball. So
I'd like to see some more out of Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
Him coming out of college, he had a lot of hype. And
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the series, so I don't know if
person's
he's
clowning you, isn't she?
yeah.
I could see the eyes. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, she's ranking
Yeah, she's
you.
standing right there.
She
Oh,
said like this.
The Mavs blew this series. I guess I kind of did watch a little bit of Game 7. I think the Magic were up like 20, and I almost bet the Cavs to come back and win, but I didn't trust it. And then the next thing you know, second half starts and the Cavs are up 10. So I mean, what
Yeah.
a weird game. Like it.
yeah.
Very
That's
strange.
not a series. Like even just looking at it, that's not something I'm.
No, I didn't. I don't think I watched one game besides the highlights.
Almost
this time.
positive it was on NBA TV like every game.
No, it was that people were so pissed off about that because I think their game 7 was supposed to be on like TNT or something like that, and then like 6 hours for the game they moved it back to NBA TV because something else was on that channel.
Jeez.
That's so disrespectful. I think
Yeah.
it was the same way for the Pacers too, wasn't it? Almost every one of their games were on NBA TV.
No, I think they were on TNT
No,
a lot.
yeah,
I watched a lot of
they
that
were.
series.
No, I'm saying I think they were until Dame got hurt, and then they moved them to NBA TV.
I know one of their games was at like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was also another
That threw me
disrespectful
off.
thing they did to them is that they let them play at 4 on like a Sunday or something like that or
Look.
Saturday.
I want to say it was a weekday. I don't want to swear to it, but I don't know. Little heads up next time, NBA.
Hey, Davis, you messed up this little outline here, brother.
What I do?
You put Bucks over Pacers 4-2.
Oh, the Bucks did not beat the Pacers.
No, the Pacers beat the Bucks 4-2.
Good catch.
I'm glad I didn't read that off because I looked down. I was like, wait a second. This is Knicks League Pacers 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
Another one that I mean, the Pacers won it, but I think if you have Giannis full health and Dame full health, that this isn't even really a series.
One game they were without Dame, Giannis, and Bobby Portis got ejected like in halfway through the first quarter. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's not the Pacers. The Pacers are kind of hot, so
We'll see.
I think Tyrese Halliburton's a fraud, but
yeah, he was really good early season, and since he got hurt, he's not been the same.
well, since he got all that hype,
Yeah, but then he got hyped, then hurt, and then it's not been near the same. So Knicks over the Sixers. Another one of these things I ask you: is the Sixers experiment over? Is the process done? Has it been done? What are we doing here?
I mean, I think that's a gut punch to trade away Joel Embiid, but a time comes where it's like, man, we haven't done anything with this.
No, and he's been MVP. He's been, he's hooped. Don't get me wrong, and even playing on a 10% leg that he had, I mean, he still was hooping, and he did everything he could to help him win that series. But Tobias Harris having, I think it was 0 points game 6, wasn't it?
I mean, he was terrible the whole series.
He may have had 2, but I think he had 0. And I mean, obviously, he's not coming back next year. So I mean, if you continue the process, this is the last offseason, I think you can do it. And you got to get some young guys in there.
I think you ship out Joel Embiid. You try to build around
Tyrese Maxey.
If I'm them, I'm trying to get Bam from Miami. Won't happen.
Cheaper contract.
I'll be giving them a call.
Yeah, it is a cheaper contract for them to take on as well. They don't have to pay him a max deal.
I think Pat's going to try to build the team around Bam. So I don't see him going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just hope Tyler Hero goes soon. Gosh. I really thought this was going to be the year. I remember, it was a slap in the face because he was in the Dame trade talks.
Yeah.
So he was in the lab this summer posting it all. I'm like, oh man, he's gonna have a breakout season. Yeah.
No, he didn't do it.
No, he's worried about his supermodels though.
Model. He's loyal.
When you got it like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's
got to be weird.
No, I think he's an OG kind of.
I feel like he's weird.
I don't know. Jimmy Butler really likes him because he can't swim.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why that geeked me so bad, but it did.
I think when they were doing an interview and he's like, "Wait, you can't swim?" He's like, "You really from the hood?"
I think he said hood tendencies.
Yeah, hood tendencies. Like he's not from Wisconsin.
That's funny as all get out. Okay. I know y'all don't know much about this, but NHL first round, so we can make it kind of quick. Panthers beat the Lightning 4-1. You suck, Tampa Bay. Eat it. They look pretty good. Sam Bennett got hurt, but he should be back tomorrow night, I hope, on Friday night when this releases. So if we can get him, we'll get to the Boston series here in a little bit. But I think – actually, we didn't even put that on here. So I think that if the Panthers can get Sam Bennett back, I think this series might go to 5 or 6 now. But if we don't, it might be a Game 7 scenario against Boston, which we'll get to that here in a little bit. Bruins over the Leafs, and then the Leafs proceed to fire their coach today. Fun fact, the Maple Leafs of Toronto, the mecca of hockey, have not won a Stanley Cup since 1967. That was the last of their 11 in a 20-year span or whatever it was. And they're supposed to be the mecca of hockey, and they hate that South Florida has a hockey team. You guys fucking suck. Yeah. I'm clipping that.
That reminds me of.
If you say Kentucky, I'm gonna.
No.
Oh.
Who's who do they say? No.
I can't really say anything.
Who do we call the mecca in the NBA?
The Lakers.
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
1973.
That is true.
Damn, Bowden, you're gonna let him talk to you like that?
The Knicks.
Yeah, Hugh Bill, Chandler.
Yeah, Houston. How does that feel to know that your basketball team is supposed to be the Mecca and it stinks? Well, not this year, but it kind of stunk. It stunk for the last few years. Give you props.
73. I can't do that math, but that's a long time. Actually, that's pretty easy math. That's a long time.
So, Bruins beat the Leafs. We'll get to the Panthers-Bruins series here in a minute because we had a rowdy game last night. Davis, your Capitals get swept by the Rangers 4-0. Honestly, I'll give you this. The Rangers right now are I think the favorite to win the Stanley Cup.
They're going to win it all.
Yeah, that's nothing. No, they're not. That's nothing to be ashamed of because the Rangers look pretty good right now, and their goalie just went for 54 saves the other night.
We're just like the Lakers. If we would have been matched up anywhere else, we would have won the series.
Yeah.
Getting swept just isn't a good look.
Yeah, but if
they were close games.
If they would have played the Islanders or the Canes or the Maple Leafs, not the Panthers, maybe the Lightning, they would have won a game. But the Rangers, they're I'm not kidding you. I think it was Monday night. No, what day did I leave? Tuesday night. Their goalie had 54 saves in a total game. It was nuts. Dude was not letting shit get past him. Besides, he's not giving up more than 3 goals in 28 playoff series. It's nuts. But he's good. And Ovi, he's just not shooting the puck, and that's probably another reason they lost.
Time for him to go.
Yeah, it might be time for him to retire, but I don't think he's kind of like LeBron. He's going to play until he's dead. Even though he's got a supermodel wife that he can go home to, I don't understand why he would stay, but hockey guys, man.
Stupid. CTE.
And then, I'm not going to go through all these right here. Your hometown Western Kentucky Predators lost 4-2. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when the net was wide open, so I would give that the reason that they lost. So I don't know, Crocker. I'm sorry, but
did you say hometown West Kentucky?
Your hometown of West Kentucky, yeah, because we have listeners, in West Kentucky. Besides you and Trevor, who have the Capitals and the Kings.
I have to go LA based.
I thought you were just referring to the Preds in West Kentucky. I thought you just goofed.
No,
that's me.
No. And then Trevor, your Kings get beat by the Oilers 4-1. But hey, they won a game. They weren't the Capitals.
Typical LA fashion.
Right. They win one, make you feel good, and it just doesn't work out. So that's the first round of that. I'm going to get to this just because I want some content for this. Boston, you are the sorest fucking losers I've ever seen in my life, and you're going to lose in 5.
Hey, the dude was on all fours. He shouldn't have hit him.
He shouldn't have asked Daddy to go fight and get his ass whooped. I don't know what to tell you.
I think it was a cheap shot.
I don't think it was. He got his ass beat. I'm not talking really about that. I'm going to talk about this. If you're losing and you're down 3-1 and we score a goal to make it 4-1, don't try to fight to get under their skin, because the last thing you want to do with the Panthers, and anybody in the league will probably tell you this, is the Panthers are scrappy. They want to fight. So you're going to go try to fight them and make game 3 tomorrow way worse for you than what it was already going to be. It's going to be a fun game tomorrow. Even if you don't like hockey, I'd say watch it.
Is it in Tampa?
No, it's in we don't play in Tampa. We play in South Florida.
No,
it's in Boston. It's in Boston.
Oh.
It's the first game in Boston of the 2. So we got to go sneak one away just like they did to us the first game. But we got beat 6-1 first game and didn't try to fight, do anything. We came out and whooped their ass the second game. So you got to take your L.
Tampa Bay Lightning, isn't it?
Correct. There you go. We're learning hockey on this podcast, everybody. That's what's happening. You got to take your L's and punch us through the mouth. Hello, Miss Penny.
Yeah.
She's going crazy. She said a mic. It's ball game. You got to take your L's and punch it to the mouth and just roll with them. Don't try to fight and get everything else. We might have a gloves off fight as soon as the puck drops tomorrow night, which will kind of be awesome between Kentucky and Maroon. But we'll see. So I will be, if you hear me yelling in Paducah, all the way in Hoptown and Metropolis, you're welcome.
I'll know what's going on.
In some other news, Trent Noah from Harlan County in Kentucky decommits from South Carolina and takes about 3 hours from his decommitment post. I think maybe it's 24 hours, but the next day or whatever, he posts he's going to Kentucky to be with Travis Perry. So our 2 freshmen on the team are from Kentucky, and I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool.
That's kind of hype because the big thing around Cal was he wouldn't get Kentucky guys.
And you're looking at Travis Perry, who's the number 1 overall scorer in Kentucky ever, and I think Trent Noah's number 5.
Yeah.
So you've got the two of the top 5 as your leading ever scorers in Kentucky on your basketball team. So that's kind of cool. I was very harsh of Mark Pope when this first happened. It's starting to grow on me.
Dude, Mark, he's killing it.
And he does not sleep. I don't think he sleeps.
I think he's gotten everything that Kentucky has been missing for the last so many years. Everything that, you're getting the scorers, you're getting the solid big men, some experienced guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's growing on me. Don't get me wrong. I will say that I want to see if he can put it all together. I'm starting to believe that he can, but it's going to have to grow on me. But I'm starting to like him. I'm starting to see his vision and where he's going, and he does care about the state and does mean his words when he says it's not my team, it's not Kentucky team, it's everybody's team. So
yeah,
I might have to take my harsh Facebook post down and hope for the best.
Yeah, you were definitely the Cal's irreplaceable.
Yeah,
and
but we're gonna find out.
And I've got receipts.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna say that Cal is replaceable, and Cal. I don't wish failure for Cal, but it's gonna be interesting given that he literally picked his team up from Lexington and moved it to wherever South Carolina is.
I think Davis and I talked about this last week. Does he take the LA job?
No,
it wasn't me.
I don't know who it was. Then. I was talking to somebody about it, and it was, does he take the LA job? Because he's been offered once, and he turned it down.
He's got too big of a name in college.
I agree with that, but if they offered him, he took a pay cut going to Arkansas, but you're telling me if they offer him $15 million a year, he doesn't go?
No, I think he's good on money.
I think he gives it a year or two in college and Arkansas doesn't pan out, then maybe he explores the NBA. But I don't think Cal wants to prove that he can leave Kentucky and do it somewhere else.
I will say though, as a Cal supporter, he tweeted something out, I think like 3 hours ago now, saying that he had lunch with Kelly and Joe Kraft before he left Lexington, and it's great to catch up with his friends. There's no ill will. And then he quoted the tweet and said, I've never had an ill word against Kentucky. I just think it was time for a different voice, and I'm glad you got Mark. I like him, and I know he's going to succeed. So it was kind of nice to see that from him. He's he's classy about it. So that's
he could have shafted Kentucky, and it's like, I'm not leaving. Y'all going to have to pay me this $33 million.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was very generous of him because I would have taken that $30 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm so selfish. I would have been like, nah, bro. I need run me my money.
Tell him, bring me my money.
Now, I am curious to see how the process goes. You just go from decommitment to automatically committing. I don't know. I'm curious to what makes that decision.
I think it's just the baggage, when he's, say, like Boogie Fland, for example, he's committed to Kentucky. He went through this whole recruiting process with Cal, built that rapport, built the trust. So it's kind of hard to, say, well, I'm going to go play for another coach, and I'm going to actually see the coach that I built this trust with possibly 2 or 3 times a year. So I think it's just a matter of what you built with the person, with the player.
So did Mark just meet up with Trent like the mall in Lexington?
No, I think whenever Cal left, I think I remember it, but it's so jumbled up to me. I think when Cal told everybody he was leaving, Trent immediately went ahead and put in his national letter of intent release, and it just got approved because you have to have a certain point that says you can't just get released from it. Like normally, if your coach leaves, like Travis Perry, for example, when Cal left, Travis Perry has an open invitation to give up his national letter of intent because it's not the coach he was coming to play for. But when it's not that situation and you just want to do it, then you have to appeal to the NCAA and get it done. And so I think that's just what he did. And then he had already, like, once that got released, I think he was already been talking to him and saying, like, they knew it was going to get released. So,
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I mean, he's only like 40 minutes from Lexington when Harlan. So,
yeah, I would like a
Isn't that
further
region
explanation
13?
from the source. So, Trent, I need some answers.
yeah, Trent, we talked on TikTok on the Just Below Average podcast page one day while you were live, and I sent you a DM, but your DMs are closed. So maybe open those up for us and we can talk. And we would love to have you on.
Or we'll just blow up your Twitter.
Yeah, we can do
I
that.
won't stop.
Yeah.
So you
So
block me.
please come on.
Then I'll make a burner.
Yeah.
What's up?
I don't know. Last thing I have before I get to Davis's last Friday to Friday recap. NBA MVP. SGA got snubbed.
Oh, 100%.
Jokic, I get it.
I told you it was going to be Jokic.
I get it, but like it goes to the best player on the best team normally, and he was the best player on the best team.
I think it's a popularity contest.
Yeah. I mean, they think that the Nuggets are going to win the finals.
I think last year the media won it for Joel. I think Jokic should have won it last year.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know their exact stats, but
I don't know. I
can argue either side.
Yeah. But I mean, I definitely think SGA was robbed of it this year.
Yeah. And that's taking my Thunder bias out of it. I think he should have been it no matter what.
No, I'm a huge fan of SGA, but I still think he deserved it.
I mean, where did the Thunder make the playoffs last year?
No.
I thought they did.
I don't think so.
I thought they were like the 8th seed. The 2023 NBA playoffs. Can I see a bracket?
West is just deep.
No, they did not. It was the Nuggets, Timberwolves, Suns, Clippers, Kings, Warriors, Grizzlies, Lakers. Because that's when the Grizzlies were a 2 seed and the Lakers beat them 4-2.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I changed my mind. SGA should have won.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, that's really the premise of it is the best player or a player that takes their team, out of that's not in the playoffs to the playoffs and making a run in the playoffs.
Well, this also isn't like the NFL either, where they should just rename it the quarterback award, but like it's got to be the best player, like it doesn't matter what team they're on. He helped the Thunder be the number 1 seed. If they don't have him, they don't win. They aren't even in the playoffs most likely.
Maybe
but
Chet
you've also got
an MVP.
But
Chet
you've also
on the team last year.
Who?
Chet. He was injured last year. Maybe he should have gotten the MVP.
This is his rookie year.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin.
Correct.
Donovan Mitchell got robbed of Rookie of the Year.
So SGA snubbed is what we're going with. And Davis?
We're talking about the Lonzo part?
I'm talking about the Austin Rivers part because you know the comments. I don't.
So Austin Rivers came out, and I think he said that you can't take 30 NFL players and put them in the NBA and then make a roster, but you could take 30 NBA players to make an NFL roster.
I'm going to prep. This is the first time I've heard this because I've been working out of town and haven't been on my phone. Do we all remember playing the football team in IM basketball?
Yeah.
Do we remember what that felt like?
Yeah, they bullied us.
Yeah, you can take 30 NFL players and make them NBA players.
No. None of us worked out. All we did was drink beer. Like we were the B team, guys.
Have y'all not seen T. Higgins basketball highlights?
Yes, but
Cooper DeJean?
No, this is taken. Okay, it's stopped for a certain reason. Now, if you wanted to say they could go play at a high level, maybe, yeah, probably. Could they play in the NBA? Absolutely not. I think there's very few people that could actually switch between any of the, say, 3 major sports.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. If I had to make a starting 5 right now, you can go ahead and put Tyreek Hill at the 1 because ain't nobody. He's not. You're not keeping up with him.
Can he dribble?
You don't even know if he can dribble a basketball.
I've seen him.
Did you see him play in DB? He was getting cooked out there.
That don't mean nothing.
At his camp.
I'm taking T. Higgins after seeing those highlights. That's all I'm saying.
Are you taking Cooper DeJean too? Because his highlights had him just dunking on white kids. Cooper DeJean ain't seen a black guy in his life.
Drake May was a hooper.
No, Drake May ain't got no footwork. Stop it.
Man, there's such a skill gap. Like, basketball takes a certain skill.
So you're telling me that I could take NBA players right now and make a 30-man roster on a football team to play in the NFL?
I'm
not saying 30. That statement's wrong. But if you're going to translate to one of the sports, I think NBA players would be better in the NFL.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't know. Okay, now we have to preface this. Is that with NFL training like they get throughout the year, or does it just taking them plug and play right now?
Plug and play.
Well, then nobody could. There's no way. I think if you gave them the summer and year to train for it like they do normal NFL players, then I think, yes, you could definitely do it.
I think that's a stupid comment.
Austin Rivers hasn't played basketball in how long either?
He was a lottery pick, though.
I don't give a fuck. I can glock his ass up.
I'll never forget that buzzer beater against UNC.
Yeah.
He can't guard me. That's all I'm going to say.
I'd probably disagree with you there, but
no, he can't guard me. There's no shot.
It's key.
There's no shot. He can't guard me. Austin Rivers, I'll play you one-on-one right now. Yeah.
And you're going to see that skill gap between NBA players and then just normal people.
Who won't add it? I'll clip this tonight and add that motherfucker. I don't care. I will play you one-on-one right now.
He probably had to turn his comments off because of all the media attention this has gotten.
That's the first time he's gotten media attention in 3 years.
I'm so tired of the media.
Oh, dude.
I don't turn on ESPN or anything unless there's like a game on, just because I'm tired of the shows and the stupid hot takes just to.
Yeah, well, it's gotten weird, man. Growing up, it was like Sports Center and then ESPN. You just watch highlights. Now it's just all debates trying to be Stephen A.
Yeah, it's all and Stephen A. half the time doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Speaking of the media, did y'all see the NFL's video that came out like a week ago?
No.
It was said offensive tackles were a hot commodity or something like that in the NFL draft. It went the Chargers, skipped over the Titans, and then the next pick for a tackle, which was the guy from Penn State. They didn't even put the Titans in there. NFL hates the Titans. I don't even think they recognize us as a team. It's kind of sad.
You ain't got much to show for.
What do you have?
Got 3 rings, baby.
And trying to kill a quarterback with your stadium. That's all. That's it.
I mean,
did you also see Dan Snyder? Speaking of your shitty football team, did you see Dan Snyder couldn't sell his house at 65, so he dropped it to 35 and then just donated it to some charity?
That's a good.
I actually haven't seen that, but hey, he's got a crib.
That's a pretty solid write-off.
Yeah,
he got $6 million for the team. He bought it for like $800 million. He's good.
Yeah, I think he's solid.
And then back to Austin Rivers thing, because we haven't seen him in 3 years. Another person we haven't seen in 3 years. I asked Davis this earlier, Trevor. Have you seen Lonzo Ball? Because I haven't seen him since he's done that squat video that told Stephen A to shut the hell up.
No, he's been in the lab.
Where?
He's just off the grid.
I'll play him one-on-one too.
He's been running them hills, Chino Hills.
Yeah, but
that big bottle brand training.
I think his career might be over.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
I feel
it's them BBB shoes.
It's them geriatric knees that we all have.
Let's not say all you.
No, you got geriatric knees now too.
I've got solid knees, brother.
Did y'all ever go to any of the games when LaMelo was playing around this area and how crazy?
I went to the one at Marshall, I think.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
He played at McCracken, and yeah, the hype around him was pretty wild.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other stuff from Friday to last 2 Fridays ago to now that we can talk about? Or are we good? I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I mean, conference semifinals, current standings right now. We have OKC leading the Mavs 1-0, Wolves leading the Nuggets 2-0, which goes back to Anthony Edwards being Jordan's son because I don't think they can figure him out. Boston leading the Cavs 1-0 in games, and then Knicks leading the Pacers 2-0.
Cavs just evened it up.
Did they just win?
Yeah.
So we got 1-1. Damn,
The
Boston.
Cavs ended up winning that.
Yeah. But
Good
pretty
one.
solid.
Okay.
Beat them by 24.
And Knicks Pacers. So we think the Knicks are going to the conference finals, right?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Okay. Josh Hart keeps getting 37 rebounds a game. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
To be honest, go ahead.
You go ahead.
To be honest, I hope it's a Knicks OKC finals.
That's what we need. Thunder up, baby. That's what we need.
I would rather Boston not make it, so I'm for, I guess, the Knicks. Even though that's really going to make my Isaiah Thomas statement really
Yeah. You're full of bad takes this year.
Yeah, you've had a couple. Really
I need to
bad
find
ones.
out how far Isaiah took the Celtics.
He didn't take them anywhere.
He didn't put them anywhere.
I think he may have gotten them by the Wizards. Which isn't saying too much.
I mean,
All
you did have John Wall and Bradley Beal
True.
and Marcin Gortat.
All right. While you're looking that up, we'll start on the NFL draft recap. We were supposed to do this last week, but poor time management skills on our part. So we are here now to give you our three teams. That got their draft grades, and then any other little news that we can bring on for them. Bolts go first, since you were. Well, no, I guess commies were first in the draft. What's your overall draft grade for the commies?
I don't like draft grades, so I ain't even gonna give one.
Oh, he told you.
You got me.
Just kidding. It's an A+++.
Oh wow.
And of course,
That's a receipt.
Yeah. Well, see,
Oh, I've already got some from the group message. Don't worry.
I don't even remember what I said. So
A++++.
this is just gonna be like, is Jaden Daniels good or is he not good? That's where the grade's gonna come from. Because if Jaden Daniels isn't good, I mean, yeah, we may have pieces that we put together, but we've still got the missing spot as a quarterback. I mean, we haven't had one in 30 years. We literally have won one playoff game in the last 25 years. So, I mean, we're relying on Jaden. Another big hole, which I told you guys, I thought Washington would trade back up into the first round. They tried. I think they were talking to the Bills. The Bills ended up trading with the Chiefs. They tried getting that one and another. I can't remember what the other pick was. There was two teams they were talking to. Trying to trade back up. Didn't work. I think it was the Jaguars. Or the Jaguars traded with somebody to get that pick. But we gotta tackle him in the third round. He's very athletic. I think he played a little bit of guard. If he can play right away at left tackle and Jaden Daniels is even halfway decent, I think the draft's a home run. There were a few questionable picks like Ben Sinnott. I mean, you got the second best tight end, but I think we were kind of reaching at that spot right there. And also Luke McCaffrey. I think that's kind of exciting, but at the same time, it's not Christian, and you got him at 100.
Wait, who's he dating? Didn't he date Livy Dunn or something?
That's Paul Skeens, you dummy.
He's a pitcher, man.
Hey,
no, it's not. Who did? No, he dates somebody prominent, that's like an influencer.
I haven't followed him long enough. I don't know. Luke McCaffrey.
I don't think she's famous.
I swear to God, I thought it was somebody famous.
You're also kind of stupid.
But I like what they did overall. I think the Johnny Newton pick in the second round was kind of weird at first, seeing we took a defensive tackle, but it was one of those just take the best player on the board because we've got two guys that are getting paid at defensive tackle right now, but they're not going to be able to play forever.
True. But
one of my favorite picks was the Mike Central. I think Nick Saban said that he's the best defensive player on the best team in college football last year. Or maybe somebody said that.
Yeah.
And Nick Saban had high praise for him as well. So if Nick Saban likes him, then I like him.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good rapport.
But Jaden Daniels, it comes down to that. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did say he replied to
God.
Yeah, he did reply to a comment that I asked him on his podcast. I just told him to rate the Commanders draft. There may have been a few other people that said it too, so my name didn't get said, but I'm taking all the credit for it because my post had the most views. So Dale Jr. said the O-line is the drivetrain of every successful team. We got to fix that. We needed to, and I hope we did. Yeah, me too, Dale.
Okay, so you're going A plus plus plus.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put that in here so I can remember that.
And then whenever we win a Super Bowl before the Titans, I'm going to remind you that this draft is what did it.
All right, we'll see. Lamar. Oh wait, sorry, that was the wrong team. Lamar.
Yes.
Draft grade.
I'll go a B. A solid B. They filled a lot of the spots that they needed. Of course, the offensive tackle was one of those. It was going to, there's a pretty interesting idea of what was going to happen with Rashawn Slater if we drafted a tackle. But I think they're going to keep Rashawn at the left tackle, move Joe Alt to right tackle, which is a little bit of a change for him. But I really wanted Malik Neighbors at that pick. I think he's going to be a stud. But I'm also okay with getting the best lineman in the draft. You kind of feel. I think we got 3 receivers. The Lad McConkey wasn't a flashy pick. But
I think it'll be solid though.
I think he's solid. He's a true route runner. He's got pretty quick speed. And you fill the linebacker spot with Junior Colson. We lost Kenneth Murray, so you kind of fill that spot. He's got a history with Jim Harbaugh, so that'll be interesting. And then you kind of fill in spots. We lost Joshua Kelly, so you fill a running back spot, and then get the needs of a few DBs. So I think it was a pretty solid draft, especially with new management and a new head coach.
I like the Joe Alt pick. It was a deep tackle class, and it was also a deep wide receiver class. And I'd rather take the best tackle at that position because wide receivers come and go all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just really sold on Malik Neighbors. I don't hate the Joe Alt pick. I really wanted Neighbors, but I still think it was a good draft.
Yeah, you just wanted to buy a jersey. I get it.
Yeah, you can get a Joe Alt jersey.
I'm not getting a Joe Alt.
77? No. That's a Hubel number right there in basketball.
No, I'll get Tareeb still, only because he played at Maryland.
Speaking of, I gotta get a new Tressway jersey. He gave the number 5 away.
R.I.P.
2 hours ago.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about, because you kept mentioning trade Herbert, and that would have meant Davis.
Oh. It was a question.
That would have meant me having to get a new jersey, and you couldn't have paid me to put a J.J. McCarthy jersey on.
I would have paid you to not put a J.J. McCarthy jersey on. Imagine the running back room he would have, though, because, all he does is hand the damn ball off. So you could have had a crazy running back room. Really. Our
running back room is injury central, though.
Yeah, it normally is.
We just picked up Baltimore's ACL problems and brought them to LA.
Yeah.
How many wins are you predicting? Are you seeing a downfall this year?
No, I think it's a pretty steady year. Of course, we're going to compete with the Chiefs. I think we're second in the West.
I don't know. Which isn't really. Who is it? You, Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos?
Yeah.
Well, you could count on the Broncos and Raiders battling out for number 4. So
yeah,
you're good.
So we'll have a solid year. I'd say 8 wins confidently.
Your thing is and I've thought this for the last couple of years is, it's the Chiefs. If you can squeak one out at home against them and beat all the other good teams in the AFC, when you play them, I think you make the playoffs that way. Because I think that's been the problem with the last year Did y'all make it the year before that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like last year, like you lose to the Titans in Nashville, then you lose to another team that you should have beat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to beat those teams and then squeak one of those games out, whether it's at Kansas City or at LA. You've got to squeak one of those out just to make the playoffs and say, okay, I'm here to play. You know what I mean?
I'm going to set the over-under at 9 wins.
Let me warn you on 8, which we can't go 8-8 anymore. Even though the Commanders did, when we went 8-1 a couple years ago. We made history. But 8 wins is a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
The team, you don't want the teens in draft picks. So next year for Washington, it's got to be playoffs, or I want to win like 2 games.
I'm going to go the latter.
I hate that I'm going to have to watch another season of 2 to 4 wins, possibly. But damn it, I don't want to be in the draft hell that they were in with Ron Rivera. Like, I don't want to do it.
All right. Titans. I've been contemplating on what I want to give them. I'm going B plus, and I don't really know the reason. It's just I think I have trust issues with what J-Rob did. Although I let him do his thing, I think he did a good job, and I think he took players that were going to benefit us, and kind of like Washington did, filled holes that we needed. You know, you go number 7, round 1, pick 7 at J.C. Latham. He's supposedly the 3rd best offensive tackle on the board. We take him as a 2nd offensive tackle off the board. He's a big dude. I saw a video of him today, and he's a very large human. So I'm excited to hopefully that he anchors the left side of that line with Bill Callahan being his coach. But he's a large human. So I did like to see that. Round 2, we take Tavondre Sweat from Texas. I kind of figured this would be our round 2 pick unless they traded out of it. I think there was calls for them to trade out of it, but I don't think they thought they would get Sweat at that pick, and then they didn't know who their 2nd round pick was going to be. So I don't hate it. I think if he keeps his head on straight, which I think he will, and let Big Jeff teach him the ins and outs of the NFL, I think that could be a nasty duo up front, which would be awesome to see. And take some pressure off Big Jeff and let him get some more sacks this year.
If you can keep him off Broadway, I like
that. Yeah, I think that's probably the best decision. And I really do. I think with Coach Callahan coming in, it's a different vibe than what Vrabel was. And I think that Big Jeff – I mean, let's look back at it. People hated this pick because he got a DWI 3 weeks before the draft. Jeff Simmons had a fucking, like, domestic dispute going on before the draft even started. So, like, and everybody loves Big Jeff now. I think it's one of those things you kind of just got to get him under your wing and teach him the right ways to do things. Then the 4th round, they take Cedric Gray. I honestly think him and Kenneth Murray will be a good middle linebacker duo, and I think the rookie will wear the green dot and be the captain of the defense right there. So I don't hate that pick. They got some cornerback depth in the 5th round with Jarvis Brownlee, Jaquan Jackson in the 6th round, James Williams, another linebacker in the 7th, and then you get Jalen Harrell, another an outside linebacker. So they really kind of stacked heavy defense right after the 1st round besides your wide receiver pick. But I don't hate it. I think they filled some holes that we needed. If you were going to get Tyler Boyd, I kind of don't understand the Jaquan Jackson pick unless they just don't like Colton Dowell. Then you got another rookie in, you can cut him. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of putting faith in them and letting them roll with it and seeing what Rand and Callie can do at this point. So I'll give them a solid B+. Let them do their thing, and then we'll see how it works out. But our over-unders and wins is 5.5, and I think we clear that. So
on paper, y'all have to be the best 5.5 win team ever.
Yeah, and we went down in power rankings after the draft after we filled holes with pretty – I mean, if you look at the first our first 3 picks, which have been over 4 rounds, I don't hate any of those 3, and I don't really hate anybody in the draft class, but I think those 3 are day 1 starters for us. So I don't understand how they get worse, but I mean, as I said before, the Titans are the most disrespected team in the NFL, and that's just what's going to happen. So go prove them wrong.
It might be the Levis thing. They might not be sold on.
Everybody who hates Levis right now is basing it off film last year, and I don't think his film looks bad from last year, if you want to be honest. Yeah, I mean, he made some rookie mistakes, but what rookie doesn't?
Sam Howell.
Oh, here we go.
No, he threw like 20 interceptions.
So, we'll see. I mean, I think that if this line is going to be what it says it is, and I saw a press conference today that said Will Levis basically said, yeah, we're going to be throwing the ball on first down. That made my desk lift up 1.5 inches easily. So, perfect. But anything else on NFL draft?
No, we just got the schedule coming out next week, so we can kind of cover that.
Hell yeah. We'll get that done next week.
See when the Titans are rolling to town to get an ass whooping.
And then, Graham, we're going to see when the Vikings are coming to Nashville so I can take you to watch your team get that ass beat.
You get to go see JJ.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch them hand the ball off 100 times that game. It's going to be awesome. So, all right. Kendrick versus Drake has been happening for the last couple weeks now. Kendrick went back-to-back twice on Drake, kind of like he did to Meek a few years ago. Who's winning the rap battle right now?
I think Kendrick is reaching. I think Drake has won it just because I don't think the stuff about Drake is true. Because there's been a lot of people come out like to say that Drake, like anything that Kendrick was referencing, like some of those have come out and said like nothing was happening. Like there was nothing weird about it.
I agree with that. I also think it's very funny to me when you listen to Drake's disses, I guess, how unserious he is about the whole thing. Like he'll just be clowning the entire time. And I get it. Like people say Kendrick's a lyrical genius and all this other stuff, but Drake is just so unserious and thinks it's funny. And like, I mean, his beats are a little bit better. I think his music, I just think his overall lyrics are a little bit better for stuff. And it's just funny how he goes from unserious and then like he hits a serious note and then he's back to being unserious with it. Like, I think that's funny. And like, it seems like Kendrick's taking this real personal, and I get it. It's a, you're beefing, but like, he's got to have stuff to back it up. And I haven't seen that yet. So until that day comes, I just think Drake's going with it right now, and people can disagree, but I just think Drake's doing it better than he is right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't think I'd lean this way, but I lean towards Kendrick. I don't like Kendrick, like historically. I don't really like any of his music. I mean, Drake's obviously a legend, I would say. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the last two Kendrick's dropped, they've just been they've been fun, even though they may not be true. They've been pretty good.
My thing is too. Go ahead.
Drake has just had some like you said, he's just like he's dissing, but it's funny stuff. Like and I can't remember which one it was, but he said something about basically we get it. You're black, like you don't have to keep saying stuff, and like reference Tupac and was like the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know.
And he clowned that he's got Tupac's ring or whatever and said if you want it, send him to my house to get all Pharrell stuff, which was very funny. And like that stuff is funny, but like Kendrick, I think what showed Kendrick was wrong about all this stuff is when he deleted the cover art off of the album with all the Ozempic and pills and shit like that, because he knew it wasn't true at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what this next one's about. But if this brings it all to light and he kept receipts on it all and he's ready to roll it out like I think he is, Drake wins this hands down if he drops his song that he's supposed to.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, but this is a sports podcast.
Correct, but it's great for the rap game, man. It's awesome.
They ain't got nothing on classic rock when music is real.
Here we go. It's like the NASCAR thing all over again. And we may have the GOAT Future beefing with Gunna. We'll find out tomorrow morning whenever Gunna drops. And Future said, and I quote, fuck your mixtape. Or what did he say? Fuck your album, my mixtape's better. That's what he said.
Interesting.
And I can't wait. Because if you pissed off Future, that's just no way to go, Gunna. Like, come on, buddy. So, We'll see. Friday after dark. I'll start since I think Davis has like 2. Podcast. What?
Actually, I will have 2.
Okay. A podcast that I follow that covers Kentucky basketball tweeted out today. He said, "What's a Kentucky basketball story that I don't know that it would be cool to know?" And of course, people take it to the next level. And this guy says, "Wenyan Gabriel fucked my girlfriend and she cheated on me with him. So we've made it work and we're married and we're happy now." I don't know if y'all remember that picture of him at the party, but that man's got a hog leg on him. And I don't know if I could I don't know if I could go back from that. Because I know he's seen it. Everybody in Kentucky has seen it. So
I don't look that stuff up.
I didn't have to. You don't have to look it up. It was on my timeline it was going viral for a while.
I've not really seen it. I want to say Tyler Larkin sent it to me.
Oh boy. So that's my Friday after dark. Is everybody was kind of going with like Isaiah Briscoe was at the student center with me in Lexington at Chick-fil-A, and they just closed and they had 2 chicken sandwich meals left, and he took both of them and left me with nothing. Was the first one I saw, and then I saw the Wenyan Gabriel thing. So Gotch really took it off the wall and let everybody know about it. Whether it could be real or not, that shit's funny. Oh, that's my Friday after dark. Davis?
Lamar, you got one picked out, or you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
He ain't got it.
So I sent you a few tweets, so you can.
Okay, cool.
All right, hold on.
Oh, you're sharing your screen. Oh boy.
Yeah. So this is beside the point. I just want to show some appreciation to the greatest sport there is in America. Have you guys seen anything about last week at Kansas?
I watched the Kentucky Derby. I didn't watch this shit.
This was on Sunday, buddy.
I didn't watch this shit.
Well, you should have. You missed out. So anyway, we're in NASCAR overtime. For you guys that don't know, that's green, white, checkered. That's 2 laps. So anyway, we've got the 17.
Wait. You said overtime?
Yes.
How do they go to overtime?
So say we're running 200 laps. Okay. We have a wreck with 398 laps left, 397. You have caution laps that you'll run you end the race, essentially. You hit over 400 laps. So then they have NASCAR overtime. It's just a 2-lap shootout. You run 2 laps. If there's a wreck on the first lap, you line them back up. If there's a wreck after you have finished the first lap, it's over. So there's your NASCAR rules.
All right, so we're in a NASCAR overtime here.
We're in the NASCAR overtime. We're coming off turn 4, right? Actually, we're entering turn 3 right here, about to come off turn 4, and we're going to be going to the finish line. So we got the 17 of Chris Buescher and the number 5 of Kyle Larson. We are about to have Chris Buescher. He is going to run Kyle Larson up here on the wall. He sticks it, full throttle. Didn't give any room. Then he's beating, banging. If you're not banging dudes, you're not trying to win. Anyway, I don't know if you guys could really tell in this finish right here, but this was the closest finish in NASCAR history.
So this reminds me of the. I believe Buescher. Oh wow! It reminds me of the Kentucky Derby.
It was better than the Kentucky Derby.
No, they were banging all the way until the end.
Oh, but they weren't banging on dudes; they're banging on horses.
Okay.
But no, so this registered as 0.000 when it initially finished. I believe it went down as 0.001. And also, there's controversy because the finish line, you can't really tell right here, it's crooked. This side's further away than this side. So, but we had to go this little light beam that they have, and then, I don't know. It was a little weird, so just wanted to bring some. It kind of seemed like it, because initially they said the 17 won. I mean, he's not a guy that wins all the time. Kyle Larson's probably the best driver on the circuit right now between him and Denny Hamlin. But, the 17, he drives a Ford. The Fords have not won in any of the 12 races this year. We got 3 manufacturers, and the Fords are winless. So that blows for them. So NASCAR was great this week. We're going to Darlington next week. The Lady in Black, love the track. And I will actually pull up a reel right after dark. Actually, Lamar, you go ahead because I may have to punt.
Okay. So This one, it's just I geeked at this one. It was pretty funny. Let me figure out how to share my screen here. All right, so there's a tweet about Rob DeSantis signing legislation to ban lab-grown meat in Florida. Well, someone quoted this and zoomed in on this young lady here and said she's got me in the lab growing meat. I thought it was pretty funny. If you
He
can't
definitely
see,
planted her there.
yeah, oh for sure. So her social media has taken off substantially from what I see. And if you have a chance, go to this post. It's from the General. The quotes are pretty funny.
So I've got another share the screen.
Oh boy, y'all scare me when I have to share your screen. That's why I wait for it to pop up and then I look at it.
This one's not too bad. So I kind of look at this, if I were to go to the Masters, you can't have your phone. And just enjoying the moment. So we got people in Philly right here.
You're going to open it up. Open it up.
Not a single phone in sight. We're just hanging, having a good time.
Hanging.
Jeez. Dude, Philadelphia's wild. I see a ton of videos like this.
I thought I see him in Baltimore too. Like, what did he do?
Yeah, one sock on and one sock off.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, love Philly.
For those listening, that was the zombies that they see in like Baltimore, Philly, and all that good stuff, where they're just literally hanging from their waist up, like hanging bent over. So
enjoying the moment. No phones.
No, not a phone in sight.
Not a phone in sight.
So, okay, picks. Check out our social media this week. We will have them posted Saturday morning for our parlay and probably a straight bet. We'll come up with those, get those to you on Saturday morning. So please check those out. Tell us if you're fading or tailing. Fellas, anything else?
No.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, again, this episode's brought to you by Way Good. They are the only sponsor that we have. We love them. Davis is going to keep eating those sweet treats to make sure he gets that six-pack like Lamar doesn't have. And
easy.
We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you being here each week. As always, peace.
Peace.